Hello and welcome to Regular Features, the podcast that's the same every week. I'm Gavin Murphy and I started going grey when I was 11 years old. I'm joined by Steve Fogarty.
I'm Steve and I really don't like ketchup.
He really doesn't, actually. I've noticed he doesn't like having it near him. I'm Matt Lees, and I've got a real problem with my shower at the moment. I'm getting the landlord to sort it out, but it's causing leakage. I'm worried the whole kitchen's going to collapse.
Features.
It's time for my regular feature, Steve's Things That I Didn't Understand About the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is a film that I saw at the cinema.
Should we take it for granted that, people who haven't seen this film?
I'm going to tell you the ending.
Right, so if you haven't seen the film, then you might want to skip ahead a bit so you don't spoil the ending, unless you're me, because I'm just going to have to sit here and listen to it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You haven't seen the film?
I haven't seen the film.
Oh, got it.
Seen it. Well, you told
What
me
other
that
films haven't you seen? And that's I'm doing features on all of those films. That's all my features are going to be about.
I've
Stuff
seen-
I'm going to fuck up for Matt.
There's really not much point. I've seen most films, so just don't bother, mate.
all
Just
of
don't
them,
bother.
except Rise of the Planet.
No, it's fine. I don't mind. I probably won't watch it anyway.
Okay, here's the first thing I didn't understand about the rise of the Planet of the Apes. They're making a cure for Alzheimer's, but how come the cure for Alzheimer's doesn't cure Alzheimer's? It kills the bloke from Third Rock from the Sun. And also it makes monkeys like super clever and kills people. That's
a bad. I haven't seen
That's
the
a
film,
bad
but that
drug.
sounds like a really bad drug.
If
Yeah.
you're meant to be doing something as your job, so like, right, so your job is to cure Alzheimer's, then you end up doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
You haven't done really a good
It's like
job, mate.
They've left him alone in this
procrastinating,
room.
really.
Yeah.
They say, okay, come up with a cure for Alzheimer's.
All right, yeah, I could do
Because
that.
back he's got, like, hyper-intelligent monkeys
How
and
you
a
getting
dead dad.
How you getting on with that cure for Alzheimer's?
Now look at this monkey. Look at his face. He's climbing 8 trees.
I've got a baby monkey.
I'm a clever monkey.
That is. He doesn't seem to be on point quite a lot of the time.
But
Also, didn't they think there was a little bit of a little bit sort of clash of things? It's like, I'm going to be working on cure for Alzheimer's. Doesn't your dad have Alzheimer's? Yeah, it's nothing to do with that though. But
Stop trying to make it personal.
yeah. So basically, you want to cure your dad? No, Alzheimer's in general.
nothing to do with my dad.
Yeah.
This is just.
Did his dad have Alzheimer's before he started on the project? That's what we don't know.
We don't know.
So when
Well, I'd just
the
like
prequel
to-
to Rise of the Planet of the Apes comes out, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, then we'll find out what was going on
Just
before.
thought I'd add a little bit of actual real stuff in here, right?
Yeah.
This might be interesting. It might not be funny, but it's interesting.
Okay.
I learnt this because I studied scientific head stuff for 3 years at university, right? Bad drugs, yeah, that's maybe what's happened, right? It happens all the time, you know? There was a drug they made, but they had morphine. They were giving morphine to everyone in hospitals, and everyone was like, ooh, it's nice to feel warm inside, and that. I can't feel the fact my legs are gone.
Turned out it was monkey piss.
No, right? They'd done it before, right? It was either paracetamol or aspirin, I cannot remember. But they did something to their drug so it wouldn't be addictive, because it used to be addictive. Either paracetamol, I'm a rubbish scientist. But they did something, and it was like, wicked, we've made a non-addictive version. They did exactly the same process with morphine, and guess what they made?
Heroin.
Yes. True story.
That's well addictive, though.
It's pretty bleak, isn't it? Carry on.
What was it? That's not one of the things I didn't understand about the rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Sorry, yeah.
So, let me continue.
I also don't understand that either. Well done.
Okay, is one of the symptoms of Alzheimer's really not being able to play the piano very well, but still trying?
Well, no, I guess so. But I took from that he's a really good pianist, which didn't come up other than the fact they had a piano in their house.
Yeah, but he's like, because they introduce him, but you hear like a bad piano playing, going, "Oh, he's got a kid learning to play the piano," and you go,
yeah.
"And it actually is that." And now, there's another thing is, if you ever learned to play the piano,
Yes.
which I have done, I've attempted to learn to play it.
Don't blow your own trumpet too much.
No,
Might
I
run
never-
out of, trumpet juice.
I never completed the learning process.
right, yeah.
So I'm not a very good piano player, but I know what bad piano playing sounds like.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it
that
does-
was just
it,
banging
yeah,
notes.
It's like somebody knows how to play the piano, deliberately is going, and now I press the wrong key here, and I press the wrong... That's not how bad piano playing sounds.
Yeah.
A bit of an expert
No,
pianist.
but he was just forgetting notes, wasn't he? He was just going, I know this song, this is the song.
He
Oh,
just
I've forgotten that note.
Yeah,
That's
but
Alzheimer's.
yeah, I'll just give it a
Jazz
go.
hands.
I'm just gonna. It's probably this one. I'm just gonna give it a go. I've forgotten what this key sounds like.
That's Alzheimer's. But did you actually do any research into Alzheimer's before, right? It's just out of interest. I don't know anything about it, but maybe that is genuinely what people do. They forget maybe they forget what a piano is, and they just start poking it.
I'm sure it's
There's a
very
point
likely that you lose the ability to play the piano.
I think if you got Alzheimer's, forgetting how to play the piano will probably be the last of your worries, if I'm honest. Oh no, just shit in my hands. Now I'm rubbing it on my face.
That's not what Alzheimer's does. Something else I don't understand about the Rise of the Planet of the Apes isn't it a bit presumptuous to name your drug ALS 112 when you don't even know what it does yet? It's like oh, I'm going to make a cure for AIDS. What's it called? It's called AIDS away. So have you tested it? Nah.
Hang on, don't call it that yet.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be like, what's this drug called? It's called AIDS Away 65. Well, why 65? Well, we thought we had it a couple of times.
Yeah, so clearly there's been 111 other monkey-enhancing drugs they've invented.
That is a bit weird, isn't it?
Why did they end up testing it on monkeys? I haven't seen the film.
Because, they're just a bit like people, aren't they?
Were they monkeys with Alzheimer's or what?
They weren't monkeys with Alzheimer's. They were just monkeys.
How do you tell?
monkeys.
How do you tell if a monkey has
Well, no, I
Alzheimer's?
guess it's like how the brain is putting itself back there. The only way you'd be able to do that... I'm getting confused.
I feel like kept forgetting where the swing and the bananas are kept or something.
Well, no, but the only way that they could see if it was working is if the brain was repairing itself, which is what they were, surprised it was actually doing. Like, oh, the brain's repairing itself. What do you think is going to be happening?
You've been working on this drug for so long. You must have some idea what's going to happen if you inject a monkey full of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe they just got bored.
The last thing on my list is, okay, at the end of the film, all the monkeys, right, they all go to live in a forest, presumably while they plot to take over the world.
Yeah.
Why... How do they just live there? Does no one just go to that forest
monkeys
anymore?
have been living in forests for ages.
Yeah, but
But it's like a forest at the edge of San Francisco. Where,
you can see it's got great views of the city.
Yeah.
Really?
So what?
Yeah,
people
someone
just
built
go,
a condo there, weren't they?
Don't go to that forest because it's full of hyper-intelligent monkeys now. You can't go there anymore.
My favourite, but also all the monkeys in the forest. Bomb the forest. That's it. Game over.
Just nuke it.
But also, the thing that I really loved about the ending of it was he goes to the forest and they're all jumping around and the dude says, "Oh, I am home," wherever. But he sort of forgives him a little bit for all the shit that's just gone on that bridge, which is absolute carnage. Loads of people have been hurt, and he's just like, "All right, man, anyways, see you later."
Yeah, all right, man.
Have a good one. Yeah, we had a good one, whatever. Just like that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
It's like.
Ask him a few questions. Like, if you figured out the monkey could talk, you go, "Oh shit!" It's like, right. Well, I've got a few questions for you.
Although I bet he's a scientist, isn't he? So he's probably just like, "Oh, I made that monkey talk, motherfucker! Yeah, boy! James Franco, what?"
Just like to say, if you also don't have a clue what's going on, then solidarity, you are not alone.
The worst thing is, though, I really hope I haven't... Well, we definitely have spoiled it for everyone, but I really like this film.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of haven't spoiled it for me because I don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
I've watched it twice now and I have no idea what's going
He
on.
talks to his pet monkey at the end.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Well,
Now.
that's
You ruined it now.
He spoiled loads of you. Anyway.
But if my dog started talking, if I took my dog to the park and I said, "Do you want to go home, Jessie?" And she goes, "I am home." Dun, dun, dun.
You'd be like, "Well, you're not because you live at 11."
Yeah, you live with me.
Dick shit.
So,
Get in the car.
Yeah, let's see how long you survive out here with that, pedigreed chum.
It would have to start explaining itself every time there's shit everywhere. You'd be like,
I
what was that about? What the fuck was that about?
If you're so smart, how come I caught you fingering your arsehole in your stupid little bedroom with your gladiator-style ring
No,
things?
but she would have come out and went, "If you're so smart, how come you're not doing that?" Because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And, okay, another thing I didn't understand about the film The Planet of the Apes was, alright, he's with this woman for 5 years, and then, he says to his monkey, he goes, oh yeah, I gave your mum some magic drugs and it made her super smart, and that's
Yeah.
how you were born. And she's all like, what?
Yeah.
Super drugs? What's that all about?
It's like, you know where I work. You can see this monkey
Yeah.
wearing clothes.
We've, like, you're, yeah.
Wake
My
up,
mon-
sweetheart. There's a monkey wearing shoes over there.
It's like my monkey's been wearing clothes for the last 5 years, and you're a monkey vet.
Yeah.
And you know what monkeys are like. How have you not noticed that my monkey is hyper intelligent?
You know what they're like.
Yeah.
You know
do
that
that.
I work. You know that I work in a place called Gensis. Mucking around with jeans all day.
And
I've been knee deep in genetics. So
What have you
bloody
been
day.
doing today? Oh, while you've been out, by the way, he's just been painting some paintings. The monkey has, like, which is completely normal.
he's just written another sonnet.
That's what he likes to do between his banana breaks.
It's like, yeah, you've seen enough monkeys to know what a super intelligent monkey looks like. Were you
Well,
really
no,
not
she hasn't seen enough
concerned?
monkeys to know what it looks like. She's seen enough to know what a normal monkey doesn't look like. And a normal monkey does not wear clothes. And get in cars. And sit in the back seat, put seatbelts on.
Anyway, it's time for Gav's regular feature.
Okay, so my regular feature is called Did Star Trek Really Invent That? Which is inspired by an article I read the other day, which was going on about things that Star Trek has that hadn't been invented at that point. And there's just loads of stuff like the cell phone.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the cell phone. GPS, because they could triangulate where people were all the time.
Right.
That's another thing they invented that hadn't been invented yet, but it is invented now.
But hang on, they don't call it GPS.
No, they call it, it's the thing.
You've not researched
The,
this.
the transporter.
Transporter thing, yeah. I mean, we can't transport people, but we can triangulate people where they are.
Hang
So
on,
you're saying
no.
that transport is like GPS?
Star Trek
Yeah.
didn't invent the idea of locating people.
No, but they could actually... Oh, also, let's forget this one. The personal computer. People had personal computers in Star Trek.
Right.
The tablet, if you look at Star Trek Next
I
Generation.
feel this one's falling away like a wet paper
Also,
bag
I didn't write
already.
this article. It was just the launch pad for my thing.
Okay.
Right,
Anyway,
it's
so,
fine, it's fine.
so basically, where I went from that was things that famous people have invented, or in the past, that we didn't know they'd invented.
Okay.
Oh, it's like when they broke into Edison's basement and they found he had an iPad too.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Which, that was number 5 on my list, so fuck you, Steve. You just wrecked that bit. But basically, some of these are actual real ones, and some of them are false. So I need you to...
Oh, it's like true or false
It's like,
formula
I
I keep
true or
hearing
false,
about.
yeah. I'll start with the Star Trek one.
Right.
It's called Did Star Trek Really Invent That? Yeah. So Star Trek invented the saying, that were him. So,
What's in?
to clarify...
That were him?
No,
That Klingon up there.
so to clarify, what I'm talking about is, you know, when a northern person says, like, oh, when Tom died, a bird came into window and shit on bed.
For somebody who lived
That were
up-
him.
I lived near Manchester for about 10 years. That
So-
was really cool.
Where it says, "Oh, when Posty died, we had a letter next day from another postman." That were him.
I like the fact that I can't do a Welsh accent, but when you try and do a northern accent, you sound Indian. That makes me feel pleased.
So yeah, so Star Trek invented the saying, "That were him."
I don't think, no.
No, they didn't invent northerners.
Did not.
Did not. That is pure. I will not stand for this, even if you say it's true.
That is false.
Good.
It's false because I made it up.
Knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah.
Yes. Although that is the one that I put in front of your faces and then I'll go to the park face because the next ones are so fucking hard. Here we go. Mark Twain invented the internet.
I'm going to say that in a way he did. I'm not going to explain that any further.
In his own way.
In a way, he had the idea.
Yeah. He may not have been the man to do it. I agree with Steve. But in a way, in his own way, he
I
was...
bet when writing Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain probably thought, wouldn't it be really useful?
If we could book all our tickets on the trainline.com. What's the trainline.com? Well, it's this thing on the internet. He's invented the trainline.com. He's invented the internet just so he could invent the trainline.com.
It's a
Huckleberry Finn is the very first Google whack that ever was.
Really?
No, I made it up. Oh, I feel bad.
Oh, look at the tears coming out of Steve's face.
Yeah, that wouldn't be because it's a thing.
Yeah, there'd be loads of them.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of results for that.
No, but when he invented the internet in 1904, obviously only he had...
Right.
Before...
I think I've noticed something here. That is not true. Huckleberry... No, not Huckleberry Finn. He's not a real person. Whoever his name is, who wrote the Huckleberry Finn book thing, did not invent the internet.
Steve?
I'm going to say he did invent the internet.
He did invent the internet.
What?
In a short story written in 1904 for a London paper, he described the internet.
That's not the same.
It's not the same as inventing it, but it pretty much is. Number 3. A German racist invented the American flag.
Yes, that's true.
I'm going to... That sounds like...
It was a Nazi. I can't remember why. It may have been something I picked up in Day of the Tentacle.
Sounds
on
Welsh,
BBC,
doesn't it?
But I'm 99% sure I've heard this from a source more credible than a bearded Welshman.
That's not funny enough to be false.
It's funny you should say it's not funny enough to be false, because, well, it is actually false, Steve. So, cheers, mate. There's a little kick in the nadges for Gav.
That one was a dud.
False. It was actually invented by a lady called Betty Crocker. Number 4. Hedy Lamarr, the Austrian-American actress, co-invented, with a composer friend, an early technique for spread-spectrum communications and frequency hopping, necessary to wireless communication from the pre-computer age
I'd
to
like
the
to
present
say
day.
This is true. I know this. That's actually true.
Do you
I'd
actually
like
know
to be
that's
the first
true?
person to
Yes.
say that I don't care.
As a
I
reference
really don't care.
to Hedy Lamarr in Half-Life 2, in that Dr. Klein has named his head crab after her because she's also a great scientist.
Well done.
Fill your boots.
You're picking apart this feature.
Yeah, man, I've got the knowledge.
The last invention in my... Did Star Trek really invent that? Is the writer Alice Walker invented the personal computer screensaver in 1982. But I've got an extract from Alice Walker's seminal novel, The Colour Purple, here, to help you along. Would one of you like to read it out?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Shug and Celie sat on the wooden floor of the shack. Shug was looking all sad because Danny Glover had just been beating her or something. Just then, Celie went over to the personal computer where some fish were busy swimming around on a screen. She jerked the mouse a little bit to reveal the face of the well-known science fiction writer, Robert Heinlein.
Heinlein?
Heinlein. Miss Celie, said Shug, where'd those fishes go? It's a screensaver, replied Shug, for my personal computer. You know, to prevent screen burn.
Ooh.
That's really convincing.
That is the shittest lie I have ever heard.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Matt, because that's an awesome extract. But unfortunately, it is false. But I did actually load it up with some truths. Yeah, you having that? So,
What were the truths?
the truths were the Robert Heinlein, the man in the thing that you just read.
He was the guy who did
He
it.
sort of invented the screensaver in his 1961 novel, Stranger in a Strange Land.
All right, well, now it's time for my regular feature. And my regular feature this week, as it is every week, is Matt Lees' amazing Matt Lees quiz. Basically, it's a case of who knows most about me, and it's a fun quiz, and I think we can all enjoy and take advantage of me. Right, the gift of Matt Lees was bestowed upon the world in the year of 1985. But was he either A, born on a bathroom floor, B, born in a manger with gifts and shepherds and shit, or C, born in a military hospital and delivered by an army lieutenant?
C.
I know the answer, and it is indeed C. Matt was delivered by a lieutenant.
That is a weird fact, but it is true.
So, I get a point there, yeah?
You both get a point.
Well, no, hang on.
Well, I wasn't copying your answer, Gav.
It's not a speed quiz, it's just
It's literally how he introduced himself to me. He's like, hey, I'm Matt Lees. I was delivered by a lieutenant.
Yep, that's how I introduced myself to everyone. So that was a trick question, really, because you should have known that, and if you didn't, I was going to not speak to you ever
Is
again.
that a real thing?
That's a real thing. I don't know why, and
Was
it's
he-
weird, because I've grown up to be
Was
a
he like
complete
dressed
fucking
in
pansy.
like, imagine like...
It was a woman,
in full...
you sexist bastard.
What? Women aren't allowed in the army?
Is it because you were born from natural means?
No, I don't
and
know.
They made you.
I don't know why.
A base.
I'll be honest.
And that's why you were born.
I've been playing a bit of Deus
Yeah.
Ex recently, and I am wondering about that.
Did
But-
your mum have sex with a gun? Like a rifle, and then it's like...
Are you half woman,
You-
half gun?
I wish I
Matt
was.
Lees.
I'm less
Half
effective.
woman, half gun. All sexy.
I'll take some of that compliment. All right, scientists have spent years trying to work out the secret of Matt's majestic hair. As with many of the universe's greatest wonders, the secret is simple. Every morning, he, either A, washes his hair with vinegar and bicarbonate of soda, B, lightly conditions, then leaves it to dry naturally, or C, drinks a pint of Lenore.
I have no insight into your morning routine, but I'm sure...
Sure you don't. Sure you don't.
Oh, scandal.
Well,
B.
What do you reckon, Steve?
Vinegar.
So I'm going to say... No, A was vinegar.
No.
I'm going to go with B, vinegar.
B, vinegar. A was vinegar.
I'm going
You can't,
with-
you
I'm
can't
going
mix
with
up the answers in the letters. That doesn't
D.
make
Well,
any
I've
sense.
forgotten what B is, haven't I?
I'm
right.
going for D. Lenore.
You go for Lenore.
Yes.
All right. Well, actually, both of you are wrong. Although, actually, washing your hair with vinegar and bicarbonate of soda is apparently very good for it. I read that online. I do actually just condition it. I wish
it
I
to
drank
dry.
it. I was thinking about drinking a pint of Lenore for breakfast this morning.
Wait, you condition and then leave it to dry?
Do we know the,
I'd wash it out, but then I just leave it to dry.
From the Lenore ads, the people who are made out of fabric. What do you reckon they look like when they're, when they
In
have
the
that-
nip.
Yeah, when they've got that
Well,
knobs
exactly the same, but with fabric. The weird thing is that whole campaign was like with like a man and a woman who were clearly like in their teens or something. So it's like the whole thing's like flirting. It's like, what the fuck happens when they get it on? You're just going to open a zip.
Yeah, I didn't like. I think they're gone. They got rid of them, right?
I think they did, probably because they market researched it. What do you think? I'm scared.
I find them really unsettling.
They are. They're utterly fucking...
I don't get how they have sex.
Yeah. Could you
Take
show
them off
me?
TV. Take them off the telly.
Show me in.
Sex sells. Take this off. Shut it down. Next question.
Next
All right,
question.
next
please.
question. All right. Now, this one, right. How large is Matt Lees' penis? A, massive.
Oh, I see what the joke is. It's there's only one answer, and it's massive. Which
What do you think,
suggests
Gavin?
that-
What do you think?
Well, I've seen it, so it's a bit weird for me.
Have you? When did you see my penis?
You've got it out right now.
Quite a lot. Yeah, well, maybe a little.
It's in my mouth.
It's only a,
right
it's only
now.
a portion of it. Jesus.
It's in my mouth, but I'm allowed to talk because it's so small.
Oh! You know, that was good enough. I'm going to open up a second option.
Yay.
B,
It's in
tiny.
Gav's mouth.
Small enough to put in Gav's mouth and allow him to keep talking. So is it either A, massive, or small enough to put in Gav's mouth and so that he can keep talking?
This is unfair, though, because I know this in my mouth, and Steve can see that it's in my mouth.
We'll just choose an answer. What is it, A or B?
I'm going to go for B.
Well, it was B. Well done, Gavin. All right. So
I'll take the win. I'm not happy about it, but...
But anyway, let's move on to question number 3. It's at the moment
Please
Gav is winning.
do.
Which of these was a genuine nickname given to Matt as a child?
Spasmo the Wonder Child.
No, that wasn't one of them. A. Right. A. Monkey Man. B. Curly Tits. C. Matt the Twat. D. The Captain.
Matt the Twat. Actually, the Captain
How
sounds a
young
little
were you?
bit too... I bet it's the Captain. It's got to be the Captain.
You're the kind of person who would give yourself a nickname, though, and keep referring to yourself as
Give
that.
it.
So
No,
other
no,
people
no.
would adopt it. Hey, who wants to make the captain a cup of tea? We're not calling you a captain, Matt. Stop calling you it. All right, if I stop calling myself it, will you call me it? Yeah, all right.
For a day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people just call me the Captain.
Just call me the Captain.
I'm sure someone has called you Matt the Twat. Work-
Someone on
work-
this
Well,
table
what do you
has
think?
called
What do you
Matt
think? We've got 4 choices. Which of those? Which of
I'm
those?
just
do you
saying
think?
I wasn't trying to insult you. I'm just saying that if your name rhymes with twat, someone's going to do that at some point.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's what I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm glad my name rhymes with nothing, because nothing rhymes
Gavin.
with Gavin.
Spavin.
Spavin.
Not a word.
It's good though. But come on.
Pavin.
Oh, yeah, that rhymes with it. I'm going to go with...
Right.
It's D. It's the Captain. You tried to do a Captain thing.
Well, actually, it's not. Actually,
Hang on.
Oh, come on. That's
Hang on.
cheating.
Now that I've learned that it's not D, I've got an
No,
answer.
I've
sorry.
got an answer.
Sorry, you've missed a chance with that one. The ones that were real were Monkey Man and Matt the Twat.
Why a monkey
There you
man?
go. So half a point for Steve.
Yeah, you get half a point, actually.
Because I told him he was a twat.
He did. He was quite clear about that. He's been clear about that a lot of times. Right, final question. As everyone knows, Matt Lees is impervious to all non-magical attacks. Which of the following statements is not true? A. Matt Lees once fell off a cliff and walked away with little more than a bruise. B. Matt Lees is actually Superman. Or C. Matt Lees sold his soul to a dragon and his firstborn child will be an evil, scaly baby beast.
This is interesting because if those
You know the answer is the scaly
those
beast.
two last ones hadn't been funny jokes, I would know it's A.
Yeah.
Because
I've forgotten what A is.
falling off a cliff.
Fell off a cliff.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I walked away with little more than a bruise, is what it says on this piece of paper.
Was Samuel Jackson on the beach going, they call me Mr. Glass? Waiting for you, going, call me Mr. Glass. I've been waiting for you. I crashed some trains and shit.
Anyway, that was regular features.
And this is what happens when Log isn't here.
Bye.
Bye!
See you guys.